How's everyone doing today? This is Adam with Commander on a Budget. Today we'll be getting to another episode of Strategies on a Budget. Today we'll be getting into the entire premises of playing Planeswalkers in Commander. Pretty much this video is going to go over some really budget strategies for you to try and play Planeswalkers. Looking at Planeswalkers, it's a fairly expensive strategy, so we're going to be going a little bit on the higher end of what I consider my budget for a lot of my decks, but I still think these options are still absolutely fantastic for you to look into and for you to try out. So let's hop into it. So the first strategy I want to go over, just very quick, I'm only going to go over the card itself, but it's Chandra Tribal. And apparently, I didn't realize how cheap this actual budget was. Chandra Fire of Kaladesh is a legendary creature that flips into a Planeswalker, and the entire premise of the deck is that you are playing mono red and running all the Chandras. It's a lot of fun. I've seen it play a whole bunch. This card's only around $3. There are a bunch of really cheap Chandras, and this is a really great deck for you to upgrade over time. Add in, the new Chandra from Crimson Vow. So this is definitely a really good budget start if you want to take this take on the Planeswalker strategy. Next up, I want to go over the Carth the Lion. This is actually probably the deck that I would make just because it's in my favorite colors. It just doubles up Planeswalker's abilities. I would personally take Garruk Tribal, which is definitely a good start. It also gives you room to expand upon and upgrade. It's a lot of fun. Last one I want to go over, going over the legendary creatures for this strategy, is Djeru with Eyes Open. It's a tutor for Planeswalkers and mono white. It's not too bad, especially since you have a lot of really decent mono white Planeswalkers. So next up, I'm going to get into some cards you want to run throughout these strategies, and in other strategies when you want to go for different colors. So one of the big ones that I would personally run is Contagion Clasp. Yes, it gives the -1 counter. It can be a form of removal, but really you're running it for the proliferate, so you can add more counters onto your Planeswalker. With that being said, you also want to run is Evolution Sage. This card can get very out of hand in any deck that runs counters. It's just an absolute slam dunk. If you're running a deck with blue and you want to make it more Planeswalker based, you can run cards like Steady Progress, Tezzeret's Gambit, which is one I personally like a lot, Contention Plane, which is another form of draw, along with Fuel for the Cards, are all absolutely fantastic cards in blue. You can use for proliferation and just really good if you're running a blue-based Planeswalkers deck. So one last thing I want to go over, especially when you're trying to play Planeswalkers on a budget, is don't be afraid to run the uncommon ones for more of the spark. There are a lot of really great hidden gems, such as Kasmina, Dovin, Hand of Control, which gives you an attacks effect, Domri, Anarch, or Bolas, it's an anthem, and it can make sure your creatures are uncounterable. Angrath, Captain of Chaos. It gives your creatures menace, which can help you close out games, and it makes tokens. Tameo, Collector of Tales, which we've even gone over here on the channel. Plus, Sarkhan the Masterless, it's a game ender. It's real good.